is named objection, O my son, to our thesis concerning will, that it should flow freely in its way, fide lecet, that for such as I am it is well, because I am endowed by nature with a lust insatiable in every kind, so that the universe itself seemeth incapable to appease it. For I have poured myself out unceasingly in borderly passion, and in battles with men and with wild beasts and with mountains and deserts, and in poetry and in other writings of the music of mine imagination, and in books of our own mysteries, and in works magical and in arts plastic, and so forth. So that in mine age I am become verily a slave to mine own genius, and my law is that unless I sleep or create, my soul is sick, and fain to claim their reward in the recreation of my death. But I hear thee say it, this is not the case of all, or even of many men, but their aught of will is satisfied easily as its first guerdon. Should not then their wisdom be to resist themselves for a space, as water heaped up by a dam gathered force, and hunger feedeth upon abstinence? Also there is that which I have written in a former chapter of the right use of discipline. And thirdly, this free flowing is without subtility of art, as it were an harlot that plucketh men by the sleeve. An unraveling of this knot, de hoc modo dissolutio. Here therefore will I write down the answer to this indictment of our wisdom, that every act of will is to be made in its perfection, which state is to be attained according to these conditions. First, those of its own law. Second, those of its environment. Judge thine own case individually, each as it pleadeth. For there is no canon or code, since every star hath its own law, diverse from every other. Now there is the restraint of conflict, which is impotence and disruption, but the restraint of discipline is the fortification of the will. By repose and by preparation, as a conqueror resteth his armies, and feedeth them, and looketh to the furniture and to the spirit before he joineth the battle. Also there is the restraint of art, which includeth that other of discipline, and its nature is to adorn the will, to admire its strength and its beauty, and to enjoy its victory by anticipation and full confidence, not fearful of time that robbeth them that are ignorant concerning him, how he is but mirage and illusion, incapable to besiege the fortress of the soul. Work thou thy will, knowing, as I said beforetime, by the mouth of Eliphas Levi Zached, thyself omnipotent, and thine habitation eternity. O my son, attend well this word, for it is an heirloom and a ring of ruby and emerald in thine inheritance. On the comedy which is called Pan de Commedia Quae Mandicitur. The fool, the fool. The tiger symbolizes fear. See, Princess of Wands. Dionysus is repeatedly bitten by this tiger, but his gaze remains directed forward. He gives no attention to fear, so it has lost its power over him. The tiger cannot injure him at all. His unshakable faith in existence allows him to be aware of fearful feelings without being the victim. He is liberated, able to be receptive for mystical peak experiences and interpersonal interaction. Basic, dynamic powers are released which drive forward. The onrushing creative unfolding process cannot be held back. The fool holds a cup with a base of crystal in his right hand and a burning torch in his left. These are alchemical symbols. See card 14 art. They show the meeting of opposite forces, which creates the energy for the transformation, the quantum leap to take place. The grapes, symbols of fertility, are ripe for harvest. The white spots on the golden back. The fool, the fool. The sun symbolizes the creative and transformatory powers released by the melting, basic sexual energy. Indications: you are ready for a new beginning. perhaps even a quantum leap. Give in, dare to leap, even if fear attempts to hold you back. Trust the voice from within your heart. Affirmation. I now follow my heart. I am open and ready to go wherever it may lead me. Suggestion. Draw other cards for the above questions if their answers not clear for your questions. What is the tiger of fear for you? How do you imagine the courageous leap into the new? What does it look like? Where does your heart call you to go? The horns Dionysus wears reflect expanded perception. The rainbow surrounding his head means the fool, keywords, openness, trust, ready to take a risk, courage to stand your ground, freedom, independence, creativity, great potential, possibility to take a quantum leap, listening to the heart's voice. The fool is represented by the god of spring, Dionysus. The green color reminds us of the powerful creative force of spring. The crocodile, the ancient Egyptian god of creativity, is also the bearer of the greatest creative powers. The long umbilical cord, connection to cosmic oneness, wraps the fool in 4 spirals. The possibility of rebirth is given on all 4 planes of human existence: spiritual, intellectual, emotional, and physical. The prerequisite is your readiness to change in all areas, your responsibility to self-development. The 4 spirals are described as follows. The first spiral surrounds the heart in heart shape. It stands for emotional rebirth, recognition, perception. Yes, the Magus. The 2 snakes at his head are an ancient Egyptian symbol for healing and regeneration, Caduceus. In this context, they refer to the regeneration of thought. Above them is the eye of Horus, god of perception, with the symbol of a dove, bearer of the spirit. The Magus receives inspiration from the soul of the universe, whose message he spreads on earth. This is more strongly expressed by the blue-yellow energy beam which enters his head, penetrates through his body, and emerges again at his feet. He cannot fulfill his tasks without constantly remaining in touch with the spiritual forces of the universe. He is always in service of a superior law. When he recognizes and accepts this as his true function, he bears clarifying light unto the darkness of ignorance and misunderstanding. Indications you have at your disposal brilliant capabilities which you should share with other people. One important task is to find or create the proper surroundings for the activities. Questions. In what areas lie your tasks? The Magus, the objects Mercury juggles, represents different realms of communication. For example, 1. Coins, body, matter, finance. 2. Fire, inspiration, transformation, dynamics. 3. Wand, philosophy, religion, spirituality. 4. Arrow, directness, honesty, purposefulness. 5. Scroll, writing, publication. 6. Winged egg, extrasensory perception, telepathy. 7. Cup with snake, emotions, relationships, sexuality. 8. Sword, intellect, logic, analysis. The 2 snakes at his head are an ancient Egyptian symbol for healing and regeneration, Caduceus. In this context, they refer to the regeneration of thought. Above them is the eye of Horus. Yes, the Magus. Keywords: Mercury, communication, playful dealings with all possible forms of communication, flexibility, brilliance. The Magus is represented by the Greek god Mercury, the messenger with wings of pure spirit. See the yellow wings on his feet. Mercury bears energy which spreads and radiates from him. The cards represents the will, wisdom, and the word through which the world was created. Mercury balances with great skill on the tip of a surfboard-shaped stand and juggles with the different tools of communication. He is a genius at using all the possibilities available to him. In his duality, Mercury stands for truth and falsehood. He brings all set ideas and judgments into question, which often makes him appear in a questionable light himself. As a creative creature, he knows no conscience. He uses all tools, all methods. The Empress, the Empress, the Empress, the Empress. Keywords: Venus, beauty, love, motherliness, femininity, wisdom, connection between spirit and matter, inner and outer wealth. The Empress embodies and commands the feminine in all its forms. Her form and surroundings are marked by beauty and wholeness. You feel a sense of well-being in her presence, taking part in the harmony of her being. Her beauty is not restricted only to the externally visible. Her femininity is fully evolved on all levels of her being, given her a special radiance. She is mother and lover, ruler and seer at the same time. Her strength rests in the unifying of the highest spiritual values in their fully perceivable forms with the lowest material qualities. The essential characteristics of her dominion are love in its giving and its receptive aspects, white and red, creativity and fruitfulness, green, understanding and wisdom, blue. All existences, I am the source, the continuation, and the end. I am the germ, I am the growth, I am the decay. All things and creatures I send forth. I support them while yet they stand without, and when the dream of separation ends, I cause the return unto myself. I am the life and the wheel of the law and the way that leadeth to the beyond. There is none else. I am the fire of mind which divideth itself into the superior and inferior natures and putteth on a robe of flesh to come down. I am the vital principle of all that is. Nothing is that does not live, and of that life I. Wherever this power acteth, whether in low forms or in high, I only am its source, and I the knower. Not thine, but mine is the power of attention, of observation, of discovery, of the discerning of sequence in the operation of nature. In all this and in the power of discrimination, my superior nature worketh through thee. Happy art thou if thou canst grasp this truth, for then understanding that not thy weak self, but my all-knowing mind, looketh out upon the world through thine eyes, shalt thou have faith to let me see. Then shalt thou overcome the evil of thy senses, by devoting them wholly to my use. Not thou, but I, shall then discern the weight and shape and texture of the things. On the fool's right shoulder is a golden 8-pointed star. Close to it is a silver lunar crescent. These are the sun and moon, the gold and silver of the alchemists. They refer also to the Surya, the hot electric solar current of prana described in books on yoga, and to Rayi, the cool, magnetic, lunar current of the same prana. Fundamentally, these are two modes of the one life breath. Their activity is both universal and personal. In humanity, they are active in the nerve currents of the physical body. The black wand over the fool's right shoulder is a measuring tool. It supports a wallet having a flap sewn with 10 stitches. The lock of this flap is in the form of an eye. On the wallet below the flap is a picture of an eagle. The wand is a symbol of will, of which attention, the wand itself, is the essence, and to which memory the wallet is closely linked. The wallet, the sun, something new and transformational is being ripened in all of humankind. just as fruit is ripened through a chemical process caused by the sun's warm rays. The birth of a new humanity requires the completion of a process described in the old alchemical texts. The phoenix burns only to arise from the ashes anew. Magnificent bird, and fly into the open sky. The light of consciousness will permeate all aspects of our being. Indications. The fulfillment of your wishes is possible here and now. Relax and give yourself up to the dance. The right partners will find each other. Question: what task or project is on the agenda for you now? The lamps are the interior stars or chakras. The oil is the nerve force, a modification of Fohat or Kundalini. It is made to energize the lamps by means of exercises in which counting is essential because they include rhythmic breathing and rhythmic intonation of divine names. In Hebrew, Shemen Lemawar, SHMNLMAVR, oil for lighting is the number 667, and this is the number of Sod, Ha, Pehuluth, SVD, HPO, VLVTH, secret of all spiritual activities, the name of the path of wisdom, corresponding to Teth, pronounced Taith, transcribed as T, the number 9, meaning serpent. Hence, the cross of Tav is a symbol of the tree of divine perfection. And in the ancient form of Teth, the circle is surrounding the cross is a symbol of the power of the letters, because the total number of Hebrew letters is 22, and 22 is the characteristic number of any circle. Arithmetic is the basis of all practical occultism. A knowledge of the esoteric properties and uses of number is indispensable to every seeker of liberation. The coiled fiery power is the astral light, symbolized by a coiled serpent. It is also the Kundalini of the yogis, and much concerning it will be found in the writings of Madame Blavatsky, who calls it Fohat, and says outright that the letter Teth is a symbol for Fohat. See also Arthur Avalon's serpent power in Shakti and Shakta. The lamps are the interior stars, or chakras. The oil is the nerve force, a modification of Fohat, or count aright, and thou shalt have oil for thy lamps, for the oil of for lighting containeth the secret of the letter Teth. This is the oil which riseth like a serpent, the oil which thy father Jacob poured upon the stone in the house of strength. Verily he knoweth the secret of that stone, knoweth also the secret of the serpent, and in him shall be fulfilled the saying, when Israel was a child, then I loved him, and called out my son out of Egypt. And he who knoweth this shall be a measure of mercy, and all his work shall be rooted in the strength of my law. Comment on Teth. Teth, pronounced Taith, transcribed as T, the number 9, meaning serpent, the intelligence of the secret of all spiritual activities. The ancient form of the letter Teth was a crude picture of a tally in the form of a circle enclosing a cross. Mispau or MSPR number Arafal ORP. This is the sign of the name of names which none may utter. Again, it is the symbol of the tree of divine perfections, encircled by the power of the letters wherewith is formed the whole creation. And because the tally referreth to counting, and so to all the works of number, by this letter do I show, first, that all things are brought forth through number, and second, that all works of power accomplished by the wise have number for their foundation. For the circle of the tally is the coiled fiery power which cometh from the sun, and to rule this thou must learn to count. Count aright, and thou shalt have oil for thy lamps, for the oil for lighting containeth the secret of the letter Teth. This is the oil which riseth like a serpent, the oil which thy father Jacob poured upon the stone in the house of strength. This is the serpent of temptation, yet it cometh forth redemption. For the serpent is the first appearance of the Anointed One, and that which casteth Adam out from the garden of the east, even that shall bring him back once more to paradise. Thus unto hath he shown the secret of the going forth and the return. For death is the serpent coiled around Tao. This is the sign of the name of names, which none may utter. Again, it is the symbol of the tree of divine perfections, encircled by the power of the letters wherewith is formed the whole creation. And because the tally referreth to counting, and so to all the works of number, by this letter do I show, first, that all things are brought forth through number, and second, that all works of power accomplish and reach strength. The meditation on death, my secret wisdom is hid in number, and in the sign of the tally is concealed the building of the whole creation. Number veileth the power of the Elohim, for number is that thick darkness whereof it is written, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where God was, and again, Tetragrammaton said that he would dwell in the thick darkness. Ye shall know that this darkness is Egypt, and by the wisdom hidden in that darkness did Moses lead Israel forth. In the darkness, which is Egypt, is the darkness of number, concealing the one in the cloud of the many. Of that darkness the serpent is a sign, the great serpent, the royal snake of Egypt. This is the serpent of temptation, yet from it cometh. It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all. With those holidays. It is the edge of the ice. Oh, God! Where all the lonely The king in the card holds the sacred lance, while the queen holds the holy grail. Their weapons are held aloft by their children, whose positions speak of the twist of DNA and of the infinity symbol. Crowley was keen that this card not be looked at in isolation, but was to be read with card 14 in the major arcana. Art. There is an astrological reason for this, as the opposite card to Gemini is Sagittarius, which rules that card. These two cards are so complementary that they cannot be studied separately for full interpretation. It is wise then to either look for art in the reading you're doing, or take it from the pack and lay it next to this one when it appears. The Lovers. Keywords: inspiration, intuition, childish, unrealistic, simple, union. It can help to look at the themes within this card. The 6, the Lovers. Keywords: inspiration, intuition, childish, unrealistic, simple, union. Crowley gave an alternative name to the card, the Brothers. The traditional meaning of this card, being one of choice and relationships, is sublimated by Crowley to mean an openness to inspiration and intuition. Due to the complicated nature of what Crowley was attempting to convey magically, this card can turn into the one of the hardest cards to fit into a more traditional tarot reading. It can help to look at the themes within the card. This is a union of opposites, but it is a royal marriage, and those are often the result of political expediency rather than great love. The twins arising from the union are more important, however, as these represent the card's affiliation with Gemini, ruled by Mercury. This should indicate a degree of communication and swift comprehension. In fact, it is more the intellectual ability to analyze that is being hinted at here. The querent is advised to analyze the situation. The magician's problem is to arrange them in proper order, In ceremonial magic, these implements are the staff, the cup of libations and divination, the magic sword and pentacle, talisman. On the pentacle are written or engraved words, numbers, geometrical figures, and sigils. These are determined by the nature of the magical operation to be affected by the powers they represent. In this instance, the sigil on the pentacle is the pentalpha, five-pointed star or pentagram. Of this sign, Eliphas Levi says, the pentagram expresses the mind's domination over the elements, and it is by this sign that we bind the demons of the air, the spirits of fire, the specters of water, and the ghosts of earth. It is the star of the Magi, the burning star of the Gnostic schools, the sign of intellectual omnipotence and autocracy. It is the symbol of the Word made flesh. Exercises in which counting is essential because they include rhythmic breathing and rhythmic intonation of divine names. In Hebrew, Shemen Lemwa, SHMNLMAVR, oil for lighting is the number 667, and this is the number of Sod, Ha, Pehuluth, SVD, HPOVLVTH, secret spiritual activity. Nothing could be further from the truth. It is the interior nervous organism, not the external organs, that is always meant in phallic symbolism. And the force that works through these interior centers is the great magical agent, the divine serpent fire. We have the almost superhuman task of creating a new set of associations with the word sex, because after all, certain aspects of the truth must be worked out to practical application through exercises which will lead only to most terrible results unless the minds of those who undertake them are first completely purged. False modesty must be replaced by a high and reverential attitude of respect for the centers where the fire of life is most active in the human body. The Hebrew full thread is Kav, QV, which adds to 106 the value of the letter name, and VN. Comment on noon.
They say that they can say it because they
the other thing can kick wisdom up. I don't want to be screamed. Yeah. All your roles, it's a boy.
Gotcha. It doesn't make sense. It does. Yes. Clickbait title. I was fooled by Prasad last time I had a clickbait title. I think I might be doing that.
Basically communist. I didn't think anything about
You know?
I mean, I live in the Middle East, so I see people in different colors out there.
No, I mean it shows their names. It showed their names, and there was no they didn't have Middle Eastern.
كيف حالك إيسا مجزاد شاي كلف كيف حالك حبيبي حبيبتي I have a question for Jewish.
So he was being nice. He said, "Keep following."
This is Edmund.
Hey,
Maybe we can bring him on.
I don't know. Give us a nigga to cleanse our souls.
You see, I love how he can make people believe that he's another person. He's really good at accents and voices and acting. Anyway, so what were you guys saying about the island Turtle Island? I'm trying to look for this
We have to liberate it from those occupying turtles.
Turtle Island Liberation Front. I guess Turtle Island was originally used by Native American groups.
Our shell is impenetrable.
Then these people.
Turtle Island Liberation Front. It could be also turtle I'd like to fuck, like milk, right?
You're almost a guild.
That's right. So it says federal authorities have announced the arrest of 4 individuals who allegedly plotted coordinated bombing attacks
Is it hard to give him his space, and maybe, want something to be changed, but leave it alone because he really felt strongly, or how was it?
Hey, my friend, this is Raed, Diego, Princessia, Nura. How are you, Scarface?
Hold on, they're listening to something.
كيف حالك حبيبتي? How are you, Scarface? What are you listening to?
Right or wrong has to be made, and that's the director. And so after I heard that, I was like, okay, I'll do what he wants me to do. I'll try my best on it, but ultimately it's up to him.
Exactly. This sounds like everything that very smart candidate Congressman John Kitover was telling you for the past 2 days, but you didn't take one fucking note. And now here you're listening to some bullshit and wasting your fucking time again. Habibdi, Afwan Habibdi. Diego, I thought you told your dog to start taking notes and stop talking.
Don't call me that. Don't talk to me like that.
Scarface, listen, I don't know what to tell you, but Habibdi, you're wasting your time. What are you doing?
Sir, it's fine.
I'm driving to jiu-jitsu. I'm going to go teach the children how to do jiu-jitsu.
I'm sorry. Okay,
Please mute yourself, Princess. Men are speaking. Men are speaking. That is your time to mute yourself. You are a disrespectful little Habibdi. So, my friend Zach, I have a bank. It is called Raed Khoury Bank. We are a very large international syndicate. And I'm wondering, do you have any disposable income you would like to invest in our investment bank? I'm a world-class financial advisor and asset manager. What about you, Diego? Do you have any extra Bitcoin laying
Turn
around?
off this video so that you can take over, John.
Habibdi?
You go from calling me dog to having
See, dog is a Kabbalistic word for God, so don't sweat it, goddess. AKA Scarface.
it was just Habibi.
Habib.
No, Habibi. Habibi is the
Yeah, I thought it was
male.
Habibi.
No, Habibi's for a guy. For a girl, you say Habibti. It's a masculine feminine language.
Oh, so you hate transgender people?
There's no it in Arabic.
So my friend,
But you know, to say my heart in Arabic for both a guy and a girl would be the same. You would say Edbi. I mean, that's like the cute way of saying it. It would be Edbi for both a guy and a girl.
oh, that's so cute.
What if you want to say kill the Jew? How would you say that?
اقتل اليهودي.
Nice.
So
What if
anybody?
you wanted to say, sorry.
Oh, go ahead, my friend.
No, nothing. It's stupid.
So
Listening to
my
Hawk?
friend, no, I'm listening to Rosenblatt, the greatest cantor who ever lived. I'm gonna make a movie, my friend. I'm gonna produce it. It's gonna be called.
The deepest breath of the day. Hold for 10 seconds.
Take the deepest breath of the day.
Not
Hold
nine.
it for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 10, 11. Hold. Let it go. Go. Those are
All right, what were you
essentially the
saying?
lyrics. So, do you know who Josele Rosenblatt is?
Is it the greatest cantor who ever lived?
Yeah, he has been heard more than any cantor who ever lived. There's a documentary about his grandson. It's really interesting.
I don't know. Hey, is that a new set of tefillin
That I'm wearing?
that you got? You got a new set of tefillin and a talus.
Yeah, I've got 3 tefillin, 1 tachlis, 1 tickler. That
You have
one,
3 tefillin. Why do you have 3 different ones?
because each one is different. One of them I decorated and super glued an amethyst with a scorpion in it to the top, and then I put tarot card stickers on it. So
I see.
I made it really, illegal. And so, but that's like my practice set. And but what's interesting about the other 2 that I have is they're both kosher, and one of them is a mini. Do you know what the mini version is? I think it's for like
No.
it's for like younger people or smaller people.
Oh, okay.
It's not so big because the kosher ones are huge. They're
Right.
Anyways, the point is I bought them on eBay. So eBay is a gateway to all these antiques that people have passed on and their family members are selling because they are extremely beautiful.
Right. That's true.
It's just the antique market. So my friend, what I'm telling you is you may be a bag of trash, but what you don't realize is you're actually just an antique store waiting to be opened.
That's true.
You're in the wrong business. You got to get out of teaching people how to pick mushrooms and cook them for dinner and open up an antique shop and then make the antique shop an Instagram and a YouTube success.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Portland, Maine's #1 antique shop, curated and decorated by Zach Della Ruta. So there's a huge antique market here in Chicago. And there's this one giant antique mall near me called Lincoln's Antique Market. And there's 150 mini vendors that have little booths. And when you go to checkout, they find out which vendor you picked it up from.
I can close this, sir.
And their slogan is, if you didn't get it in the will, you can get it here.
Diego, Zach, check the chat.
Okay. Well, I am driving on the highway, but when I get a moment. I just got in a deadly car accident.
Good.
Every time I walk down the stairs, I'm like scared that I'm gonna trip. Let's see.
So much for all that time on Clown House. It results in a car accident. Nora, mute up, man. We're not finished speaking.
Why did you want me to post that data? She's still pretty.
It's the most wonderful time. Don't light the menorah. Let's have a party with all there's a hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. So open it to play with the light is begin. And while we are playing the candle, I think I'll It's the most wonderful time of the year. With the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the Thank you for saying 41. This is Alderman Anthony Napolitan. It's the most wonderful time of the year. With the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you got to go to trial, baby. It's the most. It's the we take. I just want to say, they do think it's the, it's the,